Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and the Giants. I am Enzo. This is my forever co-host Jum. Today we talk about another James Mangold directed biopic, this time for Walk the Line, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon as Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash.
June Carter. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, unlike, I say Bob Dylan's not my vibe, but like Johnny Cash fits more with my vibe. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah. Not gonna- again. I'm not gonna pretend like I listen to this shit every fucking day. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't go back and just listen to really old discographies. Yeah, unless like there's some kind of external motivation
Yeah.
to do so. But I do know her.
Yeah.
I do know some Johnny Cash songs, but that are a little bit more recent.
Yeah, I was about to say Hurt's my favorite one because it's the first one I saw with the trailer for Logan. Like
Logan?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and all I know from Johnny Cash is that he's the blues guy. He's the one that sings a really hurtful, man's man, drinks whiskey, walks in the desert kind of
Yeah.
music. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I didn't know any of his early shit.
Yeah, same here. Like, I don't know why. When I first saw this movie, I was like, I don't see Joaquin Phoenix doing the whole Johnny Cash voice. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm in Folsom Prison. You can't curse and shit like that. And like, listen to Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon put on those accents. I'm like, damn, these two are some of the best actors of our generation. And I'm glad they collaborated with this movie because it follows Johnny Cash through his tumultuous life as an artist. It's the typical like highs and lows of a musician biopic you expect.
Yeah. And I'm just a little shocked with like how messed up Johnny Cash's childhood was.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the man has an abusive father, clearly. Or he doesn't have the greatest father. I haven't seen him hit him. But like,
yeah, not physically abusive, like as far as we know, or from far what the movie told us, but definitely like emotionally abusive. Like he
I feel like
didn't.
I've seen this scene before, like Hacksaw Ridge and like and now this one where like if you're in a farm and there's two boys, that's not a happy family. You know?
Yeah, I mean they grew up in the Great Depression, and because
Yeah.
of the lack of jobs, Johnny Cash's brother has to take an odd job, to say the least, and that odd job literally kills him. And you're like, Jesus
Oddly
Christ.
enough, killed him.
Yeah. Like, who knew kids working dangerous equipment would end in tragedy? Who knew that? Like, fucking
Okay.
final destination. But yeah, after you see him grow up with an emotionally stinted dad, you're like, what kind
Yeah.
of person will Johnny Cash grow up to be? And his first marriage with, I forgot her name, but she's the voice of the rabbit in Zootopia. Oh, okay.
Zootopia.
Vivian Cash. Yeah, Vivian Cash is not. It's like, well, I don't know why you want to be an artist so badly. Why can't you be like a salesman, like fucking 50s Fallout style salesman? Just stick to that, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but like, I guess they were kind of giving us the blueprint of like why. Or like, yeah, wait, isn't he with another woman?
Yeah,
That's why.
yeah. When he opens the pamphlet, I'm like, isn't that his wife? Oh, future wife. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, not bad. But yeah, yeah, like she kind of has doubts when it comes to things, and when he does get successful, she starts to kind of say, "Hey, I want work. Want home." This is actually very reasonable. When you're at home, you don't talk about work. And I'm like, that's a healthy thing, and Johnny Cash doesn't really go about it, the best way.
He's just too excited. It's like I have a record. I busted my ass doing this. Like they even kicked me out for upcoming young Elvis, and you're like, that's the only recognizable artist I see here, Elvis, because
Yeah.
his music, like you mentioned Bohemian Rhapsody in the last review. I'm like, yeah, I recognize this music. With Johnny Cash, I'm like, nope. Like when he started saying that "A Piece to Save Me" song, I'm like, is that one of his hits? Never heard Johnny Cash sing that.
Neither have I. Again, we're not that old, but
Yeah.
like, if you like the song, more power to you.
Yeah.
But it just lets you know when I'm like, I was like, I don't recognize it. I
Yeah.
don't know it. And at the same time, I'm like, it's not a bop either, so I'm not like, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
If you say, like, I was kind of waiting for them to like release Hurt. I was like, come on, bring that song out.
Right? Even though we were like, yeah, that's like way later into his career. But
Yeah.
I do love what the manager said when he's like, after the Jesus song, he's like, look, you can be like 50 other people who sing the exact same
Gospel.
song, or you can
Yeah.
be Johnny Cash. And Johnny's like, fine, let me give it another shot. And he starts singing, and you're like, oh, damn, I didn't know Joaquin Phoenix could sing that well. What the fuck happened to Joker 2?
Yeah, and I do like it. This scene alone is already kind of a message to any kind of artist, whether you be like an artist that does paintings or illustration or music, and any kind of art medium. That like if you're gonna be doing it because hey the masses like this,
Yeah.
like if the masses likes this kind of certain thing, that it's not gonna come out right. It's not gonna come out nice either,
Yeah.
or it's not gonna be the way that you want. But if you sing it the way how you feel, how you want the world to see how you feel about it, and then you just get the best thing come out of it, you know?
Yeah. And you see that throughout this entire movie. Like, as a musician, Johnny Cash just kills it every time. Whether he's like hop up on alcohol and drugs or not hop up on alcohol and drugs, you're like, man still performs. It's his relationships with like Vivian and June that you're like, that's kind of questionable. Like, after he and Vivian split, and then he's just chasing June throughout this entire movie. And I'm like, man, can't really take no for an answer.
Even before they split, he was still chasing June.
Yeah, that's true.
I got a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, like I got really uncomfortable when it came to how he was courting June,
Yeah.
where he would kind of just like corner her, and then like lean in for it, and I'm like, and she goes no. I'm like, all right, buddy, move on.
Yeah.
He goes for it again. I'm like, wait.
I love the scene when he pisses off June and like the next day he's just drunk with his buddies and then he makes a comment and June just like, fuck you then, starts throwing shit at them. I'm like, yeah, June, don't take shit from anyone.
I feel like at this point June is the problem because no matter how much of a red flag Johnny Cash is like, I don't think this is the right guy for it.
Alright, I'm like, I think you deserve better.
Yeah, so good for them that they made it work, you know?
Yeah. I do love, like, as much as I love Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash, I think Reese Witherspoon does steal the show as June Carter.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
agree.
watching this movie for the first time, I'm like, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. And then you see Reese Witherspoon, you're like, Legally Blonde, see what you can do. And you see her act her ass off, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Sorry I underestimated you. Holy fuck.
And I do love, not gonna lie, these were kind of like those kind of scenes where you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Where June and Johnny will be singing, and then he starts singing that one song that her and her ex-husband used to sing and wrote together. And then he leans in for a kiss. I was just like, I was like, oh my god. I think I got the scene wrong, but I remember him kissing her mid-song, and I'm just like,
yeah, and she's like,
why?
she's like, don't you ever do that again, and she just storms off.
Yeah.
And then he has a breakdown.
I was like, man, I can't take rejection well.
Yeah. It's that scene and like the end scene when he says, I won't start singing again until you say yes to my marriage proposal, like in front of the crowd. I'm like, stop, please, God.
By the way, to anyone who watches this film and think this is the most romantic thing in the world, where I put the woman that I love on the spot so she can't say no.
Yeah.
Just like, no. I felt so sorry. I like this movie. I like how Joaquin Phoenix acted, and I love the entire journey of Johnny Cash from going from this alcoholic / druggie to full on sober.
Yeah.
Well, he tries. But just him going for June and the amount of attempts that he does made me so fucking uncomfortable.
Like you have to remind yourself, like, yeah, this is like set in the 60s and 50s. Like
I know. Wait. Sorry, go on.
cultural standards weren't what they were. But this being in the 50s and 60s, you're like, yeah, standards are different. Doesn't excuse it. I'm just like, things are different. I can't do anything to change that.
I know. And I know it's supposed to be a biopic, but please don't do this. People, this is a very
cringy.
archaic way of avoiding a woman.
Yeah,
Because,
this is
like,
the
it-
2020s. That's the
Yeah.
1950s. Get with the programming, please.
Yeah, like you know how like when grandma tells you like, "Oh, how did you meet grandpa?" You know, like, "Oh, we saw each other in school and he followed me home and he stayed outside my house for 5 days." That's a weirdo.
Yeah,
And there's somewhat the equivalent of that. I'm just like,
yeah.
anyway.
Also,
Huh?
how they wrap things up with the dad, I'm like, how did you fix things?
I don't think they fixed it at all.
Yeah, like, because the last scene before the end, they were like arguing about the tractor, and then Johnny Cash homies like dies trying to set things right with the tractor, and then the next scene he's like telling his dad like, this is how you do the phone thing. Tell them the story about the flood, and you're like, why do you make it look like you're okay?
Oh, great. Yeah, closure, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Or, like, well, if it's, like, somewhat kind of reality, they never have closure. You're just like, alright. I say it in my lane, you say it yours.
Yeah.
We never cross those paths. Kind of deal.
Yeah,
Because clearly the dad has favorites. Sadly, to him, the wrong son died. And I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it sucks to see like Johnny Cash like spiral,
yeah,
and I could see where like his songs that like they're absolutely heart wrenching
yeah. Like
from now.
Hurt.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn.
exactly. I feel like that's the only song we've mentioned.
I love the Prison like Folsom concert, like that.
Mm.
For me, I'm like, I'm not used to this music. Again, not really my pick of the day, but like when he starts playing the songs, I'm like, yeah, this is slapping for me. At least I'm vibing with this. I like this. And
Yeah, where like all the prisoners just related to him.
yeah,
It was like, all right.
yeah. I'll,
I cannot. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I really did not know this was Johnny Cash. Where it's like, again, I'm more used to his blues. His like, again, just the lone guitar, like depressing songs. Not the dung 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 dung. I'm like, and then it's hurtful lyrics with like a very upbeat bass line. I'm just like, I'm a little bit thrown off.
yeah. I could listen to some of the lyrics. I'm like, that's not matching with your bass at all,
Yeah,
man.
you're right, like it's like dun 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 dun. I killed a man in Massachusetts, and I'm like, okay.
Went home and drank some whiskey, got arrested. The next day, I'm like, what is the moral of this? What's the song?
I left his wife for dead, and I'm like, and then the guitar's like, I'm like, no, it's not how it goes.
Again, it's interesting to see how American music has changed from like the 50s to now, where like at least the lyrics match the song. It's like when do karaoke and it's like really depressing, but it's like a K-pop video. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Sing
Or like pumped up kicks with Foster the People, you know?
Yeah.
It's a bop, but at the same time you're like,
and then like the TV is just playing Bluey or like, no.
or that like the dance, the 3D renders of like people dancing.
Yes.
Man, we gotta go karaoke again.
Yeah, sometime soon. All that being said, what would you rate Walk the Line?
I'll rate Walk the Line. It's just a 7. I don't know. I just couldn't get behind folk sing.
Yeah, I think all of our scores for the Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash biopics would be higher if we were like major fans. But we were like, I like the music.
Yeah.
Do I listen to it on a daily basis? Not really.
Look, this is just a personal preference. But like, come on, like,
Elvis Presley had a biopic, and that shit slapped. But to be fair, I know a lot more Elvis Presley songs because of Lilo and Stitch. But like,
Yeah, it's the familiarity. You're like, where can you find
Yeah.
Johnny Cash songs and the most recent movies? Oh, heard from Logan, and that's about it, I think.
yeah, yeah, you got a good point. It's more of familiarity. If you're a fan of Bob Dylan or Johnny Cash, or any kind of like folk singer, within that time period,
Yeah.
I think you'll enjoy this film. It's well directed. It's well acted. The music, I guess, is to a T because I've never heard Joaquin Phoenix talk or sing like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like everything else besides the music was done so well. Like his chemistry between him and his father, except for we didn't get clear like, oh, where do they stand in this situation? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
But I will say, a lot of the times I did feel uncomfortable. It's like Blade Runner, s kind of courting, and I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. I'll give this a solid 7 as well. I really do like the acting and the sets and all that. It's just that the uncomfortableness where like I'm sorry, I grew up in like I was born 95 and grew up in like the 2000s and 2010s where like standards have changed. So like
Yeah.
reading the last text where it's like, oh, they died separately after one each another. Am I supposed to go, oh, or that's interesting?
I guess.
Like most biopics when they had that memorial thing, you were like either like, oh, that's cool, or oh wow, that's sweet. Here I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
you don't say like, oh, they died separately and they didn't even see each other kind of deal. It's like, oh, sorry, what's her name again? June died and then Johnny followed after. That's what they usually say.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, well, good direction, good acting. I like the fact that both Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon had to learn how to play their instruments and had to learn how to sing for this movie, and their determination shows. Like I know this won Reese Witherspoon her first Oscar, and like she definitely deserves it for this movie.
Yeah.
And like it's just well written characters. Like aside from like standards changing, like I think it's a very well made movie. If I was more of a Johnny Cash fan, probably give it like a 9. But like since like it's not on my daily rotation, it's a 7 for me. But for the Johnny Cash fans out there, I'm pretty sure it's ranked pretty high on your list.
For sure. And if you like it, go like it. It's all good. You no need to change anybody else's mind on it.
Yeah.
But okay. But
Yes.
this might be a little bit personal, but there's a question from me to you and to the audience. What is your daily rotation as of right now?
You know that new song by Jenny and Dua Lipa?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that and like I rediscovered Rob Zombie, so it's a weird mix.
Okay.
How about you?
As of right now, I've been listening to TV on the radio,
Oh,
staring
cool.
at the sun.
Alright.
Because they showed that one song in like Daredevil, and I was like, I liked that song before it was in Daredevil. So like that's been on rotation. I think I pair it with everything in its right place by
Oh.
Radiohead.
Alright.
Like those two just meld together very well.
Yeah. Also to the audience watching, what's an artist that hasn't gotten a biopic that you would like to see a biopic of? Like you know what, since I'm really into jazz, like since college, I would like to see a biopic of Miles Davis.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
How about you?
You know what? Look, old is old, and I have to accept it. I would love to see a Fall Out Boy biopic. Dude, just imagine how it will slap though, you know?
Yeah.
Seeing Thanks for the Memories on the movie, like in a theater.
Yeah.
That shit would be sick.
Yeah, like whether it be good or bad, like we'll all be singing to the songs of Fall Out Boy, like for
Yeah.
those who grew up in that era. But yeah, whatever it is, comment down below, audience watching. But if you want to see more of us here on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually on Zoda's Voices on TikTok and Enswolf on Letterboxd. Where can I find you?
You can find me at JohnJum_ on Instagram, and is my account.
And until the next one, yes? You're about to say something? You went,
No?
oh, sorry. Anyway, until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.